I would say, like anything, you know, life is a fight, and you have to just keep moving forward. And you can't quit and you can't give up.
Let's go, hands all the way out.
I wouldn't say dodging. I would say more than anything, you have to come forward. And you can't make excuses. My background is just like any other kid that grows up in a kind of bad environment. You know, my parents weren't awesome or great parents. I had some parents with some really strong issues. They didn't teach me about empathy, love, and structure, you know, and so I got structure from the streets. I think it was when I was 15, so yeah, 15 years old. And you know, it started with the small minimal things, you know, like the little petty stuff like breaking and entering, you know, getting into fights. And you know, growing up in the late 80s and 90s in Los Angeles, South Central, it was a very rough place. You know, every corner was a gang. And you know, they thought that if we moved out here that it would be better. But it wasn't. It was just the same problems would follow us out here. I think that the whole Big Brother aspect is a beautiful thing, and it can help the kids that need that. People like Mr. Bautista, you know, that are involved, just people that care, you know what I mean? He's a longtime mentor for me. You know, I've known him for over 10 years, you know, so he came in my life when I was still a fairly young man.
During my working years within the probation department as a division director within the juvenile division, one of the things I really tried to focus on was trying to be able to provide probation officers resources where they could refer juvenile clientele to. One of the things I became aware of was this boxing gym, the Highlanders boxing gym in West Highland. What we did, we identified this as a place where we could refer probation youth to, and we had worked it out with Tony that we could send probation kids here.
It's just like anything, you know, it's restorative justice. You come back to the same place that you destroyed and you give back, you know. People are looking at this place, so yeah, it's just boxing. You know, they come in here and there's kids pulverizing themselves, but it's not, it's bigger than boxing. This is intervention and prevention. You know, we give these guys jobs, hope, you know, we mentor them. We take them out of a bad situation into a good situation. And the eyes from the outside are thinking, you know, I don't want my kids to fight, but this is not about fighting. This is bigger than boxing, you know, bigger than fighting. This is about saving lives, you know, getting kids off the streets and showing them that someone really cares and wants to be there. And I think if there was more programs like this, you know, there would be less kids like me, you know, that are out there starting trouble, getting into trouble, hurting other kids, you know. And I truly believe that if you have a base and a rock, you know, your life would be better. Fighting is easy, you know. Working out, oh, that's easy. Life is hard. It's easier to die than live, you know. And I know because I've been close to things where I almost died, my friends have been killed. I could be right now in prison, right, or dead, but I know that I have a bigger purpose. I'm here now, especially what has happened in my life. There's good and then there's great, and that's really your choice, and you have to decipher what you want to be. And for us and this organization, we want to be the best ever in everything we do. And talk is cheap, you know. You say something, you better do it, and everything else is secondary. Nothing matters but the mission.